Staying safe on the Camino can mean a lot of things. You got to protect yourself from dogs, cars, weather. But today we're talking about one of the biggest things you need to protect yourself from while you walk the Camino, and that is the sun.
In this video, we're going to share with you all of our favorite ways we protect ourselves from the sun and its UVA, UVB rays. Some are obvious, some are less obvious, but over our 12 Caminos together, we're going to share with you what we found works best for us, and maybe some of these ideas will work great for you.
And how we keep such baby smooth complexion.
Oh, not even those ones.
You're going to be in the sun a lot when you walk, no matter which Camino you're on. So be smart about it, use some of our tips, and stay safe from that mean sun. I'm Shawn.
I'm Lainey. This is Days We Spend
In the Sun. The number one way that we protect ourselves from the sun is by wearing the right clothing. Sunscreen is important, and we're going to talk about that later, but you don't have to reapply your clothes. So if you have really good sun-safe clothing and gear, you're off to a great start.
We really like clothing with a UPF rating because you can't sweat off a UPF rating like sunscreen.
So sweaty.
Yeah, I get really sweaty. So that's the very first thing we recommend is a long sleeve shirt. What we really like that we've discovered semi-recently is the sun hoodie, because something with a hood is going to protect your neck as well as your arms.
So sun hoodies come in a lot of different shapes, styles, and importantly, material. I have two sun hoodies here that I've tried. Lainey, I think you've got like 20.
Well, I have two, but these are the same. There's two of these ones, but they're the same kind.
The main pro of no matter what sun hoodie you get is they're really good at protecting you from the sun. It's in the name. Typically, a good sun hoodie will have thumb holes in the sleeves so that you can keep them all the way down and use them with hiking poles.
Both of mine have that.
Yeah.
So they also protect part of your hands.
Because if you've walked the Camino with hiking poles, you know that you get this like weird glove tan line, which makes it look like you've dipped your hands in mud. And that's a lot of sun damage because your hands are exposed all the time as you're walking across the meseta or even just the mountains.
There's a couple really popular sun hoodies, such as this one from REI that does not have thumb holes, or our friend Sarah has a sun hoodie that she wears that doesn't have thumb holes, which is why we chose the ones we have. So I actually have two first choice sun hoodies and they kind of go for first place. I pick them based on just what I feel like wearing. But I really like my merino wool sun hoodie from Ridge Merino because when I'm sweaty, they don't smell. I mean, I'm always sweaty. I'm hiking. Literally, I wake up, put my backpack on, I start sweating.
She looks outside when she's in bed and starts sweating.
No, don't even put like my bag on. But I really enjoy how soft and comfortable the merino wool feels. They look kind of all wrinkled up right here, but if I was to put them on like 10 minutes later, they are not wrinkly.
The fabric is something that's really important because the smell of synthetic fabrics, which is what you typically find at REI, they don't smell good after even just one day of hiking. Might not be an issue for you, but it's an issue for the people around you.
Yeah, these Ridge Merino ones have thumb holes. That's why I picked this brand specifically, and has a really large hood so I can kind of pull it over my hat. One thing I don't like about this merino wool one is it's really fragile, so after wearing it for about 30 days, it starts to get a little threadbare where my backpack is rubbing against it. And so it's not very durable compared to a synthetic. So we both have the same synthetic hoodie, and it's from Jolly Gear. These are from what's called a garage grown company. So they're like handmade by a person in the United States.
The truth is these shirts rule. Lainey did the sun hoodie first and I saw it and went, yeah, that looks great. But I typically hiked in a hiking shirt, sometimes often with the sleeves rolled up. As someone who uses a lumbar pack, I wanted more breathability. But as we've hiked more Caminos, I've seen the benefits of the sun hoodie. This shirt from Jolly Gear is what tipped me over into being a sun hoodie guy because of the way it's made, all the features. It's got the thumb holes. It's got the hood.
The thumb holes are really long too. It covers more of my hand than any other shirt I have.
And it's because it's made by a hiker. Be careful with the sizing. I'm 6'1" and a bit, and I wear a medium in the Jolly Gear.
I'm 5'1" and I have a size small. They don't fit everyone. We really liked the Jolly Gear one, but one of our friends didn't like how it fit her.
This is a polyester fabric. It's not merino wool, so it's super durable, but might get a little bit smelly.
It gets smelly on me. I have to wash it every day.
Yeah, you should wash your clothes every day. Also, the fit is supposed to be a little bit blousy. That's what you want in hiking gear. It's not supposed to be super fitted. It allows airflow. But if you're wearing a backpack, it gives it room to move around.
Yeah, I have the version that's kind of meshy material, so I find the wind goes through it really nicely and it feels a little more cool. Whereas my merino wool sun hoodies are honestly maybe a touch too hot on the hottest day. I've sometimes had to just take them off.
Yeah.
On one day that was really humid. You're wearing long sleeves even on the hottest day. You'd be surprised you won't feel the heat as much because the sun isn't beating directly on your skin. So while there's been like literally only one day I couldn't take my sun hoodie, of the like 100 we've walked in these shirts.
Yeah. The Jolly Gear is a button-up shirt, which is an important distinction. Most sun hoodies are just that, hoodies. But I like that it's got buttons because I can unbutton it throughout the day for more airflow.
You get some airflow on the buttons, for sure.
The other option I've used and I enjoy is the sun hoodie from Western Rise. Western Rise makes one of my favorite merino wool t-shirts. They have a lot of really high-quality gear. This is not merino wool, so it's a lot more durable. It's just super lightweight. It's another great option if you don't want a full-on button-up shirt.
So now we've protected your arms. The next piece of the puzzle is protecting your head and your face. Everyone says you need a good hat.
Yeah, the hoodie does a really good job at protecting your ears and your neck. So if you want to combine with the sun hoodie, that's our preferred option.
We have options that work without a sun hoodie too.
Our preferred option is sun hoodie, hood up, and then combining it with a build cap, not a wraparound cap. Because you're wearing the hoodie, we both transitioned to the baseball style cap.
Well, I've been wearing this one since 2019. I wore this on the Norte. Like this has been my go-to hat.
I used to wear this.
Yeah.
I cut a hole in it so that it would breathe, but it's terrible sun protection.
Everyone shouted at Shawn in the comments that he's going to get skin cancer on his head.
Hair does provide some protection from the sun, but it's not great. It's like SPF 5 or something. So I wore this for a while and I really loved it. But now that I'm more sun conscious, I can't wear a hat with a hole in the middle. So I typically wear the Tillac baseball cap. It's mesh, so it allows it to breathe a little bit. I've been treating this thing like poorly for 5 or 6 or 7 years. I treat this thing bad. I dip it in fountains. I swat at flies. And this thing takes a licking and keeps on ticking. I'm a big fan of Tillac. My other option is Sunday afternoons. I really like this hat because you can be a super nerd and attach like a neck flap to it. If you're someone who doesn't want to wear a sun hoodie, but it's blasting sunny day, you can just snap out your neck flap thing and that'll protect your neck and ears a lot better than just the cap on its own.
My hat from Sunday afternoons does the same things as Shawn. It has snaps for a really
cool
extensive long piece on your neck, which I honestly found too hot. But I've been wearing this hat nonstop for almost every Camino, partially because I like that it folds, so I can really just shove it in a pocket when I'm not wearing it. I like this one because the brim is so big and wide and it works really well to protect my face.
And when you couple this with your sun hoodie, you create what we call a sun bonnet. Honestly, it's my favorite part of the sun hoodie is that you take the lip of your sun hoodie and you roll it over the brim of the hat and it kind of almost locks it in place. So even when it's windy, you've got this little shady cocoon that you're in and it protects you from the side, protects you from the top. It is the best reason, in my opinion, to wear a hat with a sun hoodie is that extra little bit of stretched out shade.
So if you're not wearing a hood, my next choice hat is something like this one. And this is from Sunday Afternoons also. It's a kid's hat because it fit my head and it's in purple. They make them in adult style too. But I like it again because it's designed to fold so you can again, shove it in a pocket.
That's tiny. That's awesome.
It's great. But the reason I like this kind is because the flap on the back will protect my neck and ears without being too hot, rather than the kind that was like snapping around my whole face. Great. I wear this hat to the beach. I wear this hat all the time. I really do. I know I look like a super nerd,
great.
But I love it.
You look great.
I'm so protected.
One of the things that you can add to your sun protection kit, and also we recommend for basically every Camino, no matter what you do, is a neck scarf or a buff. They come in a lot of different weights. We've got several different weights. I wear a heavier merino one in the winter, but in the summer when the sun is the big problem, I wear a lighter UV protecting buff.
We always have the buff on our necks to protect our necks from the sun. Even when I'm wearing a sun hoodie though, I use the buff because I can dip it in water and then like wear it on my neck. But I really only use it on my neck if I'm cold or if I'm really hot when it's water on there with the sun hoodie.
It's one of the lightest things that you can pack and it's incredibly versatile. Please pack a buff.
Part of our sun protection kit involves protecting our eyes from the glare, from the bright sun. You need sunglasses.
So we have tried many different options. This is a really personal choice, but we can share what works for us. And was really easy to pack because those are two slightly different things, especially when you're trying to pack in an ultralight bag for the Camino.
I remember struggling my first 2 Caminos with my sunglasses because I was always afraid of breaking them. I was always kind of like clipping them in all sorts of different places. So I have really prioritized finding pairs of sunglasses that are comfortable and protecting my eyes, but also something that I can tuck away easily without worrying about breaking them.
So flat pack sunglasses are a new kind of category of sunglasses, but one of the best versions is the News, N-O-O-Z, News sunglasses. So the way they work, they're in this tiny little case, which keeps the lenses and all the mechanics safe. You just pinch the bridge and you get them out, and you've got a pair of very functional, very good sunglasses. Now, there are issues with a flat pack sunglass. Lainey looks cooler than me. That's issue number 1.
The things I love about these, besides the packability.
I mean, the packability is like the most.
That's the number one thing we
amazing.
like is the packability. I'm not worried about breaking them. But the number one thing I like is I have a really small face. So the small sunglasses are really lightweight. So I don't sweat as much. Honestly, when I wear regular sunglasses, my eyes sweat so bad that like they just start to like look like I'm crying. These kind of prevent that because they're smaller and lightweight.
And I didn't know that eye sweat was a problem. So honestly, the only reason I think to pack these is if you can't fit another pair of sunglasses or you're someone that easily breaks sunglasses, which I am. I have a tiny bag and I've broken a lot of sunglasses because I carelessly put them away. So having a hard case that you can put in your front pocket is pretty amazing.
All of the sunglasses we're sharing are polarized lenses, which we find very important for the Camino with the glare that you'll get off the rocks in the path and the asphalt. But in terms of the News, I sometimes think that maybe the price point's a little high for the quality of the glasses. The lenses sometimes tend to scratch a little more easily and start to delaminate a lot faster than other brands.
I've had some delamination on the corners, which means they're not protecting me as well as they could. The problem with flat pack sunglasses is that they're flat, so they don't articulate around your face. There's no curve, which your head is curved. So you'll have on the sides especially, they stick out. And that means that when the sun's on the side, it blasts into your eyes. But worse, when the sun is behind you or off to the angle here, it's going to ping off the glasses and hit you in the eye.
All of those issues Shawn described are fixed with my sun hoodie sunbonnet combo. But we actually have a different solution that we prefer. They're just a little bigger and bulkier to pack and a little more expensive than the News.
The News are great sunglasses. They fit. They're well made, but they're not going to last for years and years. And the flatness of it might not be to your liking. So another option that you can use that we've recently discovered is ombres.
Oh, I love these. I just wore them in the Gran Canaria Camino, and these are my new go-to glasses. So this is the case, and you can see compared to the News. These are a little bigger because we added the additional sun shield.
There's a side mesh sun shield that you can take off and put on, which I love, because a big problem with sunscreens is that they can take away some of your peripheral vision. So when you're in a city, you take them off.
I really like these ones on the ombres because they're perforated so the wind can still come through, but they're angled so the sun doesn't come through. I also added an additional nose bridge, partially because it meant it was protecting more of my middle of my face, but also I have a small nose, and the nose bridge made these glasses more comfortable.
What's really interesting about the ombres is these are polarized. The world looks amazing right now. Is that they don't use earpieces.
They use a strap, which is why they don't break.
You can adjust the neck strap and then they're around your neck.
I won't lose them in a bar.
Which is kind of great.
It was a little tricky learning how to put them on. And then like once my face got comfortable with the feeling of it, I forgot I was wearing these. But the first 10 minutes of like putting them on, especially before my body got like adjusted to wearing them, I thought they were uncomfortable. But now I've worn them for a whole Camino, I love them.
I also think they make you look like a steampunk inventor, which is always a good idea.
A little bit. I just have to kind of go under. There we go, over ears, and then now they're not going to move for the entire day.
If you want next level eye protection that makes you look like an insane steampunk scientist.
And they won't fall off if I look like down a cliff or something, you know. The ombres come in multiple sizes, so you can say like a small frame or a large frame, which is why I knew they would fit me. So that was really important for me as a person who really struggles to find sunglasses that fit my face.
And they are that middle ground between a flat pack sunglass and a larger sunglass because they're a little bit curved, but they don't have the earpieces, so they're easier to pack. And they're really trail friendly.
We both really swear by side shields. That's our new thing, is always the side shield if you're going for maximum sun protection.
I actually like the side shield so much that my favorite pair of glasses is from Valen. These are the Valen Mountain Heron or Ocean Heron. They've got the little ear hooks. They've got these leather side shields, a little bit of perforation for wind, but they're dirty as hell right now. But
You look real cool though. I like them.
I just love how they look, but I love how they perform. For the trail, for alpine environments, for the Meseta, these are my go-tos. They're a little bit more expensive, but I put these things through the ringer, and they are very high performance glasses.
Those glasses are one size fits some. I have a small face. I can't wear them. They fall right off.
They're very small, they're very flat, but still have a little bit of curvature. They tick all the boxes for me. They might not be for everyone, but I love them. I've also tried the Valen biking glasses on a Camino. They're much better visibility because they're made for cyclists. They're polarized, they've got the wraparound. They don't have side screen, but they really cover a lot of your face. I recommend biking glasses if something like this doesn't work for you. You look a little silly, but you're protecting a lot more of your face and you still have really good visibility.
Most important thing for sunglasses is you need to find a pair that fits you, that's comfortable, and that you're going to wear. Because ultimately, if you bring your sunglasses and they just sit in your bag the whole time, then you're not using them.
People don't often talk about sun protection for your legs, but if you're on the trail for 10 hours in the sun, you got to protect those gams. And the easiest way to do that is with pants. I don't honestly like to hike in pants, so I use shorts and I slather up with sunscreen. But pants are a great option if you're someone who's a pant hiker. You're already ahead of the game.
Yeah, I get really hot hiking in pants typically, and so I kind of waffle back and forth between wearing my shorts, wearing my pants. On our last Camino in Gran Canaria, it was a 4-day long route, and I knew we were going somewhere really close to the equator compared to where we live in Galicia, and I chose to wear pants the whole time for sun protection. And I'm really happy with that choice. I wore my pants from Mountain Hardwear that are really lightweight and comfortable for me. I was really glad that I had protection. I didn't have to slather with sunscreen. I never got too hot. One day I was a little sweaty in the desert. But again, it's a choice of how much sunscreen you want to wear versus how much protection. Shorts or pants is really a personal choice to you. I've done both and I like both choices. I think it just depends for me on the length of the route and the length of time.
So when I get back from a Camino, you can tell that I've been on a Camino because I have a sock tan line, especially on my calves. When you're walking the Camino, especially the front face, you're often typically moving in one direction, which means you're getting blasted on one part of your body for hours by the sun. You can see the damage that's happening to you. Like the tan line on my calves is bananas.
Yeah. So I think for me, I'm going to have a new thing where if I'm hiking a Camino in general, I'm going to wear pants. But if it's July or August and it's really hot out, I think I'll go with my shorts just for a little bit more comfort in that sense.
And if you wear shorts, that means that we're going to talk about the last way to keep safe with the sun, sunscreen.
You need good sunscreen.
So sunscreen is something that is hard to pack because it's a liquid. So if you're flying from the States, you can't load up on sunscreen and bring it with you. It's also a heavy. If you go to the drugstore here in Spain or the grocery store and you buy a big bottle of sunscreen, it's going to weigh 1,000,000 pounds. It's going to be the heaviest thing in your bag.
We like the infant sunscreen because it sticks better.
So we always go with SPF 50 or above. We like the infant sunscreen, like Lainey said, because we are messy, sweaty kids.
Stickier. It stays on better.
We like to say on our channel, decant, decant, decant. So we'll buy one bottle about this size and we'll split it into our little travel bottles. And then that way we each have our own sunscreen that we can each manage throughout the day. But it's also just less weight. Instead of one person carrying this big heavy bottle, we're each carrying half. So we typically use that sunscreen for our neck, arms, hands, and legs.
You do. I just use it for my legs.
When you're covering that much of your body in sunscreen, you got to use the big tube. But we have a different sunscreen solution for our faces.
And different for me for my neck and my hands.
We swear by the All Good Sunscreen Butter. Now, this is something that you can buy in the US and bring with you because A, it's not a liquid, but even if it was a liquid, it's super tiny. This is an SPF 50 sunscreen mineral zinc protective butter. That means that when you open it up,
it's real white.
So this is the white zinc. It's a paste and you kind of just swoop it on your face. But they also have a tinted sunscreen. We use the tinted sunscreen so that we don't look like we have a bunch of zinc on our face.
We each bring our own tins so we can slather on multiple times a day, and gives us a little healthy glow for our videos. It does stain your clothes though.
Yes, that's a really good point. If you take your buff and you wipe your face with a zinc sunscreen on, you now have a zinc colored buff.
No, I think it's the tinted one stains. There's like a ring on my hat, and it's on your sun hoodie too.
My old great sun hat, that's the front because that's where the tinted sunscreen is. So be careful with that, but that also means that it's protecting you really well.
I use the white one for my neck and my hands. And then I did for my ears, but now that I'm wearing a hood, I don't need to put sunscreen on my ears.
So you might look at this little tin and be like, that's such a waste of money. What if I need more on the Camino? I've been using this tin for 3 years. It's a Mary Poppins bag full of sunscreen. There's just more all the time.
A little bit goes a long way.
A little dab will do ya. So we love that this is something that we can easily carry in the waist pouch of our bags or somewhere more accessible. It's so easy to forget to reapply. You put it on in the morning or in the early afternoon. Then you're just grooving and you don't think about it. You get to the albergue and you're like, why does everything hurt? It's because you didn't reapply. So you do need to reapply this often.
All sunscreen often.
But that's what's so great about this is it's really handy.
There's a couple options that exist that we don't use that other people love. And one of them is sun gloves. I think the sun gloves would be great in some ways because I have really big tan lines from my sun hoodie versus sun gloves. You don't have to worry about that. And you get to protect a part of your body that you kind of forget to protect usually.
People also wear the sun sleeve. You'll see this with runners and trail runners, but it is an option if you want the flexibility of short sleeves, especially a really hot Camino. It's there if you need it. Buff Cell's a really good one.
Some people also really love the sun umbrella. We don't use sun umbrellas, partially just because we don't have them. The other reason, though, is we really love our hiking poles, and I'd rather have a hiking pole than carry a sun umbrella. I know sun umbrellas have clips and straps that you can put onto your bag so they kind of move with you. But I'd rather just have my gear on me that works all the time rather than worrying about the weather with a sun umbrella.
No, I've heard nothing but good things. Honestly, I'm really curious about a sun umbrella, but I don't even wear a backpack. I wear a lumbar pack, so I'd have nowhere to attach it. Any sun protection is good sun protection. So if you don't want to wear a big hood, if you think it's going to be hot, get a sun umbrella. I think that they definitely solve a problem. They don't solve the way that we like to hike.
From what we've heard, people who love their sun umbrellas, they say it's like walking around under the shade. So you're cooler. It's much cooler to walk in the shade than it is to walk in the sun.
But I've got my sunbonnet, and all jokes aside, being in the sunbonnet feels amazing.
Yeah, I mean, the sun is still beating on you physically versus getting reflected off. It's just a different solution.
Everyone walks it a little bit differently, and that's the point. Find a solution that works for you. If you're someone that likes to slather up with sunscreen, go nuts. We think it's better to have clothing that does most of the heavy lifting for you. But hopefully this list of things has helped you. We put links to everything in the description if you want to check them out and see if they have the right fit, the right price for your Camino packing list and your budget. We're always happy to answer questions if you have anything specific about our hoodies or hats or glasses. Ask us any questions in the comments. Also, let us know if you have any sun-safe gear or solutions because we're always happy to learn more.
Make sure you subscribe to our channel. You can like this video. And if you want to follow us on Instagram, we always share daily updates as well as stories every time we walk a Camino.
Give us a sunny thumbs up.
I'm Lainey.
I'm Shawn.
Thank you for spending this sunny day with us.
Yeah, go spend a day outside safely.
Buen Camino.
Bye, Camino.